Hello, 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 everybody. This is Dr. Shaniva, earlier craft doctor, and I'm here with the Academy of Color products. I wanted to show you that's the binder, and this is the box that we got. I wanted to show you the results of my first class. So, our first class we dealt with using the markers, and we used this opaque white. And Leanne and Sarah got on and they talked about um, color and how color worked. And we got really, like, in the first half an hour right into doing um, coloring. And I want to show you what I accomplished. So we learned how to do shading. I'm going to bring you down a little bit. We learned how to do shading and leaving a color, a light source um, within it. And I stamped these out because I was going to color in practice, and so I just stamped a whole of them, by a lot of them on one page. And this shows the three things that we learned in the class. Um, I think it was three of them. Yeah, it was three of them. So first we learned how to blend. No, blend. We learned how to blend colors. Then we learned how to make sure we leave a white spot. And we learned how to blend multiple colors. Mine is not as smooth as they need to be because, of course, this was my first try. But what I wanted to bring to your attention is how dark this is. She showed us how to add gray as an undertone to make our color darker. So then you can see a greater transition, even though this is the same pen. It's a greater transition because there's gray under here. That was such a wonderful aspect. And you can see the difference in my cherries, how this piece is darker and then it gets light and it looks like a light source coming from the right here, and the little white pen that adds some extra. Well, this the white pen shows is there. That's the white pen. These spaces were left intentionally not colored to focus on that white. But look how realistic they look. If I put some glossy accents on this, or some, yeah, glossy accents on these cherries would look real, because that's how wonderful they showed us how to do this. See how I just put that glossy accents on there, and how it really looks real, more realism, because she showed us how to do this with colors. What's my glossy accents? I need to stick a pen in here and get it out. But I just wanted to show you how that gloss would look. See that? It looks really glossy. This one has glossy accents, this one doesn't. But look how closely they look together and shine. And this went from dark red. This was dark red with the gray, and then a lighter red, and then a peach color. And so we learned how to blend out those colors. Really beautiful. Excuse me. Okay. Then we learned how to do cylinders. That's what this is here. We learn how to do cylinders, or make things look round, by adding shading on one side, then the other side, and leaving some white. That barrel looks round. It has a round look to it. So they taught us how to do that. Did I have another one of the barrels, or was that the only one I did? Let me see. The biggest, two of the biggest things that they showed us how to do, which was worth the money we paid, is, do you see the tree? calling. Okay. Do you see the tree? Do you see how this one here looks like it's behind that? And this one looks like it's in front of that? And this one, this branch looks like it's in front of that one. That's the technique that they showed us. And I'm going to show you a difference in this tree. I'm trying not to really show you my doggy. But this tree, you see how this one here looks like it's in front of these layers? When they showed us how to color, and I wanted to give you just a quick example. I'm going to show you. Let's see, I'll take 2 Copic markers that's on my desk. And what they showed us is when you're coloring, you have to put a light color next to a dark color to bring that out. So I'm going to just color this one here. So what she did was she put a light color here, and she put a darker color back here. Okay, so I got a darker color back here and a lighter color up here. And so she went over it to blend in those. I don't blend very well. You're only supposed to go just a little bit in. Okay, and so do you see how that now? You see how when I did that, it really popped that next color because it now looks like it's behind that. You see that? It looks like it's behind it. And that's what they taught us. If I didn't learn anything about coloring, I learned how to not try to color the whole scene, but color pieces of it, or dissect your stamp and make it look better. So that was the tree that we learned how to do. Okay. Then we learned how to color. I'm going to do this one next. We learned how to color faces and hair. I have been trying to figure out how to color hair forever. And they taught us how to color faces and hair and to put blush on correctly. You don't put blush on in a circle, which is what I always did. You put it on thicker at the edges and then thin going in, and it makes it look like your face is contoured. Never, ever was able to do that before. You can see how each strand of hair look like it's coming up separately. That's because they showed us how to color correctly to make that happen. Oh my God, this class was worth its weight in gold. Okay, then they showed us this. What they showed us here is how to ombre 2 colors together. And I wish I had stamped out another butterfly so I could show you. But I don't think I did. Oh, yes, I did. Okay, so this is what they did. I'm just going to use these same 2 colors that I was using. What you learn how to do is you take your dark color and you flick outward, right? So I'm taking my dark color, and she showed us the correct way to hold our pen to flick outward. So I'm flicking outward, right? Like that. See, my flicks even look good. And then she showed us how, and this is the reason why you need that totally tiffling thing to spin, because instead of trying to color this way, she showed us how to flick back into the design. And so you see how it's meeting up to it. Focus camera. See how it met up to it and look really blended in together. Oh my word, loving it. Next, she showed us how to do our dog to actually look like fur. Mine don't really look like fur because and this is my own opinion, I think that the tips are not long enough. You see how this Copic tip is long enough to flick correctly? So when I'm holding my thing, I can, you can't see that color is too light. When I hold my pen correctly and I'm flicking, you see how it gets real flicks You see that? That's a real flick right there. Solid, goes out to a point. These pens, the tips are not long. So when you flick, you see how I'm not getting that. And I know how to flick because I've used Copics forever. But it's not getting a true flick like that. You see? And that's what the problem is with this. Because this pen, these pens are made to do the flick correctly. Even it's thick here, but it always goes to a point. See, none of these went to a point. And I'm holding my pen correctly. I'm actually even going in the same spots, and I'm still getting the correct flick. I can even flick like this now because I was taught how to do it. But these pens, they're not deep enough, and they're hard, if you can see what I'm saying. A Copic marker, see that? I can't get a flick even though I'm holding my pen correctly. They're not, compared to this Copic marker, and their illustrators too. This is allows for the flick. This does not. So I know how to do it now, and so my dog will look correct when I do it. But we did learn how to do the dog, and then we learned how to do this. I wasn't prepared enough for this because I didn't bring a pencil, but she showed us how to make folds. Look at that. She showed us how to, like, this is not even a separate one. We made that separate. So then now this looks like it's a valley, and the dress looks like it has movement. See, it looks like it has movement. My blend is not blended good because this was just practice, but look how beautiful that turned out with her showing us how to do it. Now I know how. Okay. And then last but not least is the angel. I only stamped one of the angels, but she showed us how to blend two colors on a color palette. So you put your color on a palette. You take your color, whatever color you're using, and you start the flick. Okay? So then as you start your flick, that color you put on will be on there. And then as the colors start to wear, the other color starts to come through. So you do a small little section, which I can actually show you. Let me see. Do I have any? Yeah, I can do it on here. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So you take a dark color, or is it a light color? Yeah, you take the dark color and the light color. Okay. I'm just going to take my plate and I'm just going to put some. Oh my God, this is empty. Oh, it is super empty. You have some on this end. Oh, I gotta definitely refill this one. Let me see. Okay, this should be better. Okay, you see that color? And then I'm gonna take this one, this pen, and I'm going to pick up the color. Okay, just picking up the color. And then I'm going to flick in here. And then I'm going to keep going. You see how it's dark here and light here? It's what happened is it's dark here because this is the color that I picked up. This is the color that I picked up right here. So it's dark here. But as I go down, it goes to its natural light color. I'm not doing a good example, but that is what it's looked like. And then it doesn't affect your pens. This is just like the color pens that I have, which is called, I want to say they're called caterpillars, but that's not right. But what you do is you put the other cap on it up, like on top, and then it sucks it and makes the pen get the other color, and then you do this and it like that, and I want to call it caterpillar, but that is not right. But you see what I'm saying? It's dark and then it feeds to the light color, and that's what we did with this. And you do just a little bit at a time each time, and then it'll blend into itself. And then if you want some of the light color to show through, just turn it around and flick into it. That's what we did with the blue. And we was able to make an ombre here with the two colors. You see blue and that dark purple made that light, that purple right there. And then these two colors blended in. So it looks like it's blended in with multiple colors, but it's not. It's one pickup. We didn't use like a purple, then a pink, and then a purple, and then a blue. We picked up this purple off the palette and flicked it on, and then the natural pink came through. That's how they did it. If you did not buy the Academy of Colors, if you did not get this, still I would advise you, if you wanted to learn how to color, because it doesn't, in my opinion, this is just information according to Shaniva, which means 0. But if you just want to learn how to color, Leanne did a fabulous job. A fabulous job. You hear me? A fabulous job. I cannot say. I watched almost the whole Ink Lily, and the lady from Ink Lily did a good job to me, but she didn't do Leanne good job. Okay. That was a 15-month program. I paid $500 for it, or $400 for it. I got all of these stamps. I got trays and trays of colors, and I learned more in this one day than I learned the whole time with that 15-month program. That's the caliber of how wonderful this is. I want to get, Spec Noir has a lot of problems sometimes shipping and orders being messed up, but this right here, the Academy of Color, Leanne knocked this out the park. It made you just want to sit there for the 3 hours, and the video is up. Go to the Academy of Color on the YouTube channel, and you can see her demonstrate, and you can take all these ideas that she used, and you can put them on any stamp. And I would advise you to just, even if you didn't get this, when they doing this, when they put out the information, I would ask that you go look at it. And if you don't look at it, and if you don't have this and can't use the stamp she's stamping with, I would go get me something that looks similar that you have in your stash and use it, and let her teach you how to do this. Go get a tree stamp you already have and listen to her tell you how to color this tree and see how beautiful it turns out. They did a fabulous, fabulous job on this right here. These 18 months, I think we're going to get our money's worth. I paid, I think, $100 on HSN. They still have these, I believe, single ship, not auto ship. But in my opinion, a stamp is a stamp. So if you have a round stamp or if you have a cylindrical stamp, you can make this look right, because she showed us how to blend first on the circle, and then we did the cherries. So, and then we did the tree, and we did the face. Like, listening to her instructions is the most important part. So I will get off my step stool right now and tell you goodbye and say thank you so much for watching. And I have a HSN haul of auto ships that I will be doing in my next video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.